Moria paced back and forth in her cottage, frustration bubbling inside her. She needed the upper hand, and this year her best shot at victory was the costume contest. The annual pumpkin festival was approaching, and she was tired of losing to Clever year after year. She had the fairy godmother Carlithia on her side, who could work wonders with a costume, but Moria wasn't sure what kind of costume could secure her the win. "There's only one person who can tell me," Moria muttered to herself. "I must go and see Orlinda." The last time Moria had visited Orlinda, things had gone terribly wrong. Daniel Thorne had snuck into Orlinda's cottage, stolen her crystal ball, and delivered it to Moria, who, in a fit of rage after seeing an undesirable future, had shattered it. And the cat returned it and staged it to be an accident. Since then, Moria had avoided Orlinda, knowing full well that the seer would be furious about the broken crystal ball. But now Moria needed her. She needed to know what kind of costume would give her the edge in the contest. She had no choice but to confront Orlinda and hope for the best. Moria arrived at Orlinda's cottage just before dusk, the sky tinged with hues of pink and gold. Orlinda was already waiting for her at the door, her arms crossed and her expression unreadable. "I know why you're here," Orlinda said coldly, "but you're a fool if you think I've forgotten what happened to my crystal ball." Moria raised her hands defensively. "I had nothing to do with its disappearance. It was Daniel Thorne. He snuck in and took it. I swear I didn't." Orlinda cut her off with a sharp look. "Don't lie to me, Moria. My crystal ball showed me everything, how your cat snuck in the side door and stole it, and how you broke it in your anger. I know the truth." "The front door," Moria interjected. "Don't be rude and cut me off," Orlinda said. "It was the side door he used," she added. "No, I'm pretty sure it was the front door. That's what I told him to use," Moria insisted. "I thought you said you had nothing to do with it," Orlinda stated. "I didn't. You just have me all nervous. I am tripping over my words. Ghoul cursed me to trip over my words, or we wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't need you, and in fact, when I find my wand, I may resolve our little dilemma we're having. Well, whatever door he used or didn't use, it wasn't right for him to take it or for you to break it." Orlinda made it clear. "I'm glad you see my point," the witch said. Moria instilled fear that if her wand was to ever find its way back into her hands, finally sighed. "Fine, you're right. I'm sorry about what happened. I'll pay for the crystal ball, whatever it costs." Orlinda's eyes narrowed as she studied Moria's face. For a moment, there was silence, and then Orlinda sighed. "Apologies from you are rare, Moria, and so is payment. Very well. I accept your apology and your seeds. But this is the last time I will help you." Moria nodded, pulling a small pouch of seeds from her cloak and handing it to Orlinda. "Now, please, show me what I need to do to win." Orlinda, under duress, lightened her mood and took the payment, led Moria inside, and Lulu the ghost dog barked, who only barked at people that she didn't trust. She placed her hands over her newly acquired crystal ball, the surface glowing softly as mist swirled within. Moria leaned in, eager to hear her fate. After a few moments, Orlinda looked up, her expression serious. "To win the costume contest, Moria, you must go as an angel." Moria's eyes widened in shock. "An angel? If I'm going to have wings, I'd rather go as an eagle." "You expect me to dress as an angel?" Orlinda nodded. "It's the only way you'll win. An angel represents purity, goodness, and light, all the things the villagers will find charming. It's the only costume that will ensure victory." "I know what it means, and I'm no angel," Moria remarked. "Well, we all know that," Orlinda muttered, and Lulu barked in agreement. But Moria recoiled at the idea. Dressing as an angel went against everything she stood for. How could she possibly dress as a symbol of purity and goodness when she was anything but? "No," Moria said firmly. "I can't do it. I won't." Orlinda raised an eyebrow. "Then you'll lose." Moria left Orlinda's cottage, her mood darker than ever. She had lost money, apologized for something her cat did, and had received advice she couldn't follow. Dressing as an angel? It was absurd. Her morals, twisted as they were, wouldn't allow her to masquerade as something she wasn't. She would never be an angel, not even for Halloween. Determined to win but refusing to follow Orlinda's advice, Moria decided to focus all her energy on the costume contest. She wouldn't even bother with the pumpkin cart this year. After all, Daniel Thorne always fell asleep instead of selling pumpkins anyway. No, this year, her sole focus would be the costume contest. She'd go all in. But what kind of costume could top an angel? Moria summoned Carlithia, the fairy godmother, to help her create the perfect costume. She didn't reveal what Orlinda had told her about the angel. Instead, she insisted that the outcome be a closely guarded secret until the moment of the contest. "I need something extraordinary," Moria said, pacing her cottage. "Something that will make me stand out. But it can't be anything virtuous." Carlithia, her wand at the ready, smiled. "I've never seen you so focused, Moria. Let's create something unforgettable." Carlithia worked her magic, spinning a costume that shimmered with dark elegance. Moria's costume was a masterpiece crafted from shadows, with hints of midnight blues and deep purples, accented with silver. It was mysterious, dark, and powerful, the perfect reflection of Moria herself. "This will win the contest," Moria said confidently, admiring herself in the mirror. "There's no way anyone can beat this." Carlithia waved her wand once more, adding the final touch, gleaming pumpkin faces with tiny bows etched into them. "You're ready." Moria smiled, knowing her costume was a work of art. This year, she was certain she would win. On the day of the contest, Moria kept her costume hidden beneath a cloak until the moment of the judging. She stood confidently, waiting for her big reveal, sure that her dark and powerful look would outshine all the other contestants. But when the judging began, Moria's confidence quickly crumbled. Clever, with his little white body, had dressed as an angel dove. His feathers were pristine, and a glowing halo hung above his head. In his beak, he carried a peace lily, the symbol of purity and innocence. The villagers gasped in admiration, their hearts immediately captured by the sight of Clever. His costume, simple yet perfect, embodied everything Moria had refused to be. Moria's turn came, and she revealed her intricate, shadowy costume. It was beautiful, yes, but the villagers seemed unimpressed. They glanced between her and Clever, and it was clear who had won their hearts. When the judges announced the winner, it was no surprise. Clever, dressed as an angel dove, had won the costume contest. Moria's dark and elegant costume was no match for his innocent charm. Moria stood in the shadows, watching as the villagers celebrated Clever's victory. Her carefully crafted costume, her refusal to dress as an angel, had cost her the award. Even though Orlinda had been right all along, Moria blames the villagers. They loved Clever for his pumpkins. He had influence over them. She thought if she had only listened and dressed as an angel, she might have won. But Moria's morals, her stubbornness, had prevented her from embracing the one thing that could have secured her victory. Daniel Thorne padded up beside her, his usual smirk on his face. "I guess being an angel would have been too much for you, huh?" Moria glared at him but said nothing. She had lost once again, not because of a failed spell or a lazy cat, but because of her own unwillingness to compromise. As the villagers cheered for Clever, Moria whispered bitterly to herself, next year, I'll find a way." But deep down, she knew that as long as she let her pride and morals dictate her choices, victory would always remain just out of reach.